so that any teacher, even if they couldn't make it to the symposium, can go on to our site and find activities about stem cell science or climate change or biotechnology that they can use with their students. In addition, we offer programs, longer programs for teachers where they come into the university and work in the research labs with our faculty and with our scientists. This is a very exciting set of programs. And we also offer job shadowing outside the university with other partners where teachers get to spend a day or two following a researcher or a scientist in an industry lab around and understanding the kind of work that they do. And this really gets them familiar and excited about careers that they can share with their students. It trains them on new curriculum that we might be developing in the university. And we can also do this during the school year on Saturdays when teachers are out of school or during the summer. So in the interest of time, I'm going to skip over this video.
I think that having not only just this opportunity, but especially in a lab like Teresa's, where it's clearly a collaborative environment, it allowed us to not just kind of be passersby, but she let us be a part of this lab, and I'm hoping that we can contribute in ways beyond just the 8 weeks that we were here, and that, you know, having had this experience, I know I will go back to school this fall a better teacher than I was when I left this past spring.
The best thing about this summer fellowship is working in the Woodruff Lab, which has been an amazing experience, working alongside so many talented, brilliant researchers, having them take us under their wing and show us what it's like to work in a research lab. The exposure that I had to so many different technologies and lab experiences were really wonderful, and I can't wait to bring all of those experiences back to my students at Farragut.
All right, great. So another program that we have that's funded by the National Science Foundation is a program which places graduate students in STEM into middle and high school classrooms in the Chicago area. And our program at Northwestern is called Reach for the Stars, but certainly you could explore this with your universities. And instead of a research assistantship or a teaching assistantship at the university level, which is fairly typical in the United States, these graduate students spend 10 to 12 hours a week working in a teacher's classroom, and they share the research that they're doing as a doctoral student in a STEM area and help learn about or help the students learn about that field and other fields that they may have. They serve as role models for the students, and they also benefit themselves because by working and explaining their research to high school students or middle school students, they improve their own communication skills and their own teaching skills as future scientists and future faculty members. So it's what we call a win-win. Both parties win. And so it's a really terrific program that brings a lot of our expertise and resources into the classrooms for a full year. So finally, the last set of strategies I want to share with you before I conclude are some of the ways that we use technology to expand and broaden the kind of impact that we can have from the university into the K-12 community. So most basically we use tools like Skype and other video conferencing where faculty members can come into a student's classroom or many students' classrooms without actually having to leave campus because they're very busy, and the students can ask them questions. And so this is a very productive kind of use of technology that allows the faculty to get out and reach many, many more schools than they would normally be able to. We're working with a local science and math academy called the Illinois Math and Science Academy to create an online web-based platform to support mentoring online. We know that it's very difficult for graduate students, undergraduates, or faculty to physically go out to the classrooms, and so students can use this site to go online and get matched with a mentor who will work with them and coach them on their independent research projects. So that's an exciting use of technology. It's not very sophisticated, but still fulfills an important need. Another thing that we do is we use technology to connect students to real scientific databases and data sets. This is an example project called Watershed Dynamics, which we developed, which connects students to hydrology data sets, data about our rivers and streams and lakes in the United States, and allows them to figure out when the rain is coming, what happens to the water that I get in my own area. And the great thing about this is the students are using the same data that the scientists are using. We just create a special simplified interface that you can see on the bottom right to allow them to get access to this very, very high-end set of scientific data. Another tool that we use are computer modeling tools. And in this project, which was funded by, again, another government agency, uses cutting-edge research on our food webs and creates a model of it that the students can use in their classrooms. And in fact, on Friday, I'm going to be going out to a local middle school. We'll be sharing some of these models with them. But the students can play with, in this case, an aquatic food web where, as we all learn in school, the lower level species get eaten by the higher level species. And the students can use a model and play with this and learn about it themselves and get that interactivity. And the exciting thing is this is based on cutting-edge research that the scientists themselves are doing right now at Northwestern. Finally, a new technology that we've been developing are remote laboratories, remote online laboratories. And what this does is create a web interface for students to access and control real laboratory equipment at our university or other universities around the world via their web browser. And so they can run experiments on equipment that would be too expensive or too dangerous or too delicate for them to use in their own classrooms. And so this is a very exciting project. We are partnering with the University of Queensland in Australia to allow students to measure radiation, and we're working on some analytical chemistry laboratories at Northwestern. So this is a picture of a remote lab facility at the University of Technology, Sydney, and you can see that they have a whole set of these labs set up, and it's possible for students outside the university to access these labs as well. So it's a very exciting opportunity. Since everyone else mentioned MIT, I think I'll mention it as well. And just to give you a feeling for how powerful this technology could be, MIT has a nuclear reactor that they use for research, and they've connected a neutron beam via remote lab technology so that students can log on and do experiments with a neutron beam running at MIT. And so it's a really exciting example of how the kinds of very high-end resources that a university has can be made available via technology to a K-12 community. So with that, let me just sum up the 4 kinds of strategies that I talked about today. We talked about student programs where students themselves come to campus, share their research, work in the labs. We talked about teacher programs where the teachers themselves either came to a symposium, participated in a summer program or Saturday program. I mentioned our Reach for the Stars graduate fellowship program. And finally, I shared with you some examples of different ways that technology can be used to bridge a university and the K-12 communities. So with that, I want to thank you for your time and look forward to meeting you guys in the rest of the conference. So thank you.